So Nottingham Forest have scored 3 home league goals for just the second time all Premier League season. They lead 3-1. Lots to look at. Let's get straight into it. 18 minutes gone. Quick break, quickly taken free kick. Forest in front.
Yeah, it was. It was a very good goal from Forest. Counter-attack in many ways. They did switch off, though, Southampton. And, one end to another in the blink of an eye. Fabulous finish.
A1A here. You had a little question about the area of the free kick taking.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's just have a little look at this goal, and we just slow it down here. There's the free kick where it's taken, so you can see where. And then, listen, I'm not one for talking about a couple of yards here and there, but you look where it is in this situation. I mean, it's a good 5 yards away from where it was. That wouldn't be so bad if there wasn't 3 players actually, out of position now, if it was taken in the right position. The other thing to say, I think, when we forward it a little bit, is this situation, Ben. Somebody complaining. Yeah. As a defender, you want to be, back into shape now. We've lost the ball.
No, switching on once the ball goes dead, and his man just pulls off him, and he's the one that ends up hitting this great pass.
Yeah, and we talk about people switching on, but you can see somebody that's switching off. You can see someone who's really switched on already. Brennan Johnson pointing where he wants it, and I mean it's delivered to an absolute bit of perfection.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball, but if you just stop it here, a little bit further back, you can see the 2 centre halves here and the striker. The 2 centre halves are actually in a really good position, and they can deal with anything in behind. And they're leading the race towards the goal.
Just in this situation, they're both ahead, aren't they?
They're both ahead,
but eventually,
and you'll interested to see they just slow up a little bit, and then Bednarek just puts on the afterburners a little bit too late, and he probably would have got there if he gets back in quicker and deals with it.
Yeah, and then 3.5 minutes later, Southampton were 2 down. Same player.
Yeah, it was same player, same assist maker as well. I wonder whether the defender there can maybe lift his leg up and just let it go out for a goal kick. I'm not sure what you think there, Ben. Quick reactions and all that.
Yeah, I think awareness of where he is on the pitch and knowing that the ball's not going to go anywhere near the goal, but he reacts to it and makes a clearance, and what happens from there could be avoided as well, I believe.
Yeah, well, let's just have a look at it from a different angle, from behind the goal this time, Steve. This is a situation there that I think maybe he could have just let it go. And we forward it on a little bit here. I just want to pick your brains in this situation, Ben. You're in this situation here. As a defender, you've got someone that's strong. You're marking someone that's strong. What do? Do you let them have? Do you give them space? Do you wrestle with them? Because he gets rolled here.
Yeah, I think for me, arm's length, keeping it at arm's length. He's got really too tight to him, touch tight. He's pulling on his shirt, trying to wrestle him, and he just spins him in the end. And it's a really good striking play. It's a great finish.
Yeah. Not something that I could do. I want to get away from defenders. But these big strikers, if you get too close to them, they'll roll you and score like that.
Yeah, first time he scored 2 in a game in a Forest shirt. But 14 games without a clean sheet. They give teams a chance. Nottingham Forest, don't they, Ben?
Yeah, they certainly do, giving the ball away here too easily. And it's a 3v2 on the counter-attack. And, good timing with the pass. And the defender here, he just tries to stop the shot where I think he probably should maybe defend at a different angle, come from a different angle, cut the pass off, and maybe let him shoot from a more difficult angle.
Are we in any debate whether this was a penalty or not?
Not for me, no. I think it's a penalty. He's very clever, gets his foot in front of Maitland-Niles here, and as he's just about to swing, and it's a penalty for me.
So awkward for the defender, isn't it? You don't see somebody, you're about to clear it, and all of a sudden they just plant their foot in there. He's not really trying to turn him or anything else. He's trying to play for that penalty, but he did well.
And Forest have missed 3 of 5. Gibbs White assumed responsibility in the last game against Brighton. Right down the middle?
Right down the middle. Goalkeeper gets a little touch with his foot, though, so it's a little bit too close for comfort. But that is a really important one. Going 2 goals ahead just before half-time. Totally different team talk.
Yeah, different team talk, but I think there's plenty more goals in this game, the way it's going, the way today's going as well.
Absolutely. Goals galore in the Premier League today, and this game has been no different. Well, it was a roller coaster. It always seems to be with Nottingham Forest. And at 4-2, they thought the job was done with Danilo's goal. A wonderful touch from Gibbs White in the build-up to this.
What a goal. What a beautiful goal. The Gibbs White touch was so deft and so clever, and awareness of what was around. This is just a brilliant goal. Nottingham Forest, I really enjoyed their first goal tonight, the sweeping move, but this topped the lot, I thought. ball down. I mean, he's a real thorn in anybody's side. Brennan Johnson, who's had another very good game tonight with pace and direct. And he picks people out. This is a great ball, but what about this for a lovely little touch? Awareness of what's around him and then the ability to just kill the pace of the ball. And then a great finish as well, Ben.
Yeah, it was a fantastic touch and a great finish. But I think it came at a really important time in the game as well. I think Southampton were dominating possession and getting back into the game. And that just sort of, we thought, had killed the game off a little bit. But obviously there was more to come. But a fantastic goal.
Yeah, you could feel the nerves just slightly around the stadium with everyone involved at that point at 3-2.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Southampton were clearly on top, and there was a little bit of anxiety around the stadium, you could tell, and the team were a bit nervy, and that just sort of alleviated the pressure a little bit. Yeah,
because everybody knew for both clubs that was a must-win, and it felt like that at that particular point as well.
Yeah, I thought Southampton came out in the second half and really dominated the game. I mean, Forest obviously 3-1 ahead, and then they pull a goal back straight away, and all of a sudden they have that momentum. You think they're gonna need to do something. There's too long to go to just hold out for, especially with the goals going in thick and fast. But then they got that other goal, which basically you think had killed it. Southampton bounced back again. It was an unbelievable game. Really enjoyable game. Southampton, scoring 3 goals away from home and walking away with nothing. And we always say, don't we, home form is so important for these promoted sides. If you can make your home ground a little bit of a fortress, and you just rolled off the stats there, virtually all of their points have come
all
at
bar
home.
6. Yeah.
All bar 6, which is incredible. Now, if they can sort their away form, they might be a decent team next year.
Yeah. Let's have a look at these fixtures left then for the teams down there, because Forest, as I say, like Everton, have got out of the drop zone today, and the games are running out for those teams like Leeds, like Leicester, that have slipped in. Southampton, remember that home game against Fulham, they have to win it, otherwise their relegation is confirmed with 2 games to spare. So Forest, after tonight, go to Chelsea, then Arsenal at home and Palace away. Everton have City at home, Wolves away and Bournemouth at home. So 2 home games there, including the leaders and the reigning champions. Leicester, Liverpool at home. That's next Monday night. Then they go to Newcastle, and then they're at home to West Ham. Newcastle go to Ellen Road on Saturday. Leeds then go to West Ham, and then they welcome Spurs on the final day. Not a good day for Leeds and Leicester.
Not at all. A horrific day. It couldn't have got any worse, really. And I look at those fixtures, and you know what? Points on the board are so important. There are not going to be many points, I don't feel, won out of those sets of fixtures. There's a lot of tough run-ins now. Only 3 games to go, but look at that. Forest have got Chelsea and Arsenal. That's, good luck getting points out of that. They might be able to squeeze something out of Palace, but that's away from home. I mean, Forest are not guaranteed to get any points there at all. And then Everton equal. Man City, they're desperate for points. Wolves away, they might be able to squeeze something there. And I do think Everton could be all right now. That home game against Bournemouth are safe. They'll probably need to get something from Bournemouth at the end of the season to stay up, and I think they'll be delighted with that position. But again, the other 2 teams, it's a tough run-in, Ben.
It's such a tough run-in. Looking at those games, Leicester's fixtures there, Liverpool and Newcastle straight away, and you're kind of looking at the last games of the season for each team, and Palace away, Bournemouth at home, West Ham at home, Spurs at home. You're looking at them games that are going to be massively important, I think.
That's a great point, that is a great point. The next 2 games for all of the teams, I can't see hardly any points, but the last game for all of them are probably where the points, so it could be an absolute grandstand finish.
There, of course, we're talking really now about the last 2 relegation places, because Southampton cut adrift. And as I say, if they do not beat Fulham on Saturday, then after 11 years in the Premier League, they will be relegated. Here's their interim manager, Ruben Selles.
Ruben, tough moment right now. No doubt you're emotional, your side are emotional, but what's your overriding take on defeat here against Nottingham Forest?
Well, yeah, I'm very disappointed. I think we came here with a clear idea what to do. I think we have the first moments of the game. We came here to be dominant, to try to take our chances and to be aggressive. I think we did it, and one action put us out of the game. Then we conceded the second goal too quick, and then the rest of the game we were trying to fight ourselves back into the game. A couple of times we were close to, and yeah, it's a hard moment because I think trying to keep with our identity, we did did everything we can today, but again, details, small moments just keep us away from a better result.
Could you quite believe when you found yourselves 2-0 down, given the great start that your team had made to the game?
Yeah, okay. I believe it because it was the 2 moments of the game that changed the game. But I think we were good. We were where we want to be, and it's just some details that is not only today. It happened also other games that keep us away. So it was just about that.
What do you say at half time? 3-1 down. Clearly, your side responded. What was your main words of feedback at half time?
Well, we try to be honest as we are, and then we analyze the goals, and then just say that we are doing the things that we pretend to do. We just need to be better in those key moments, and that's what we show. We came in the 2-3, and then we just put the momentum on us, and then it just the 4 goal for them is just close that momentum, but we still managed to come back into the game and create situations. So in the halftime, we just just encourage the boys to continue doing what we have been doing and to correct those situations. That was it, and they respond really well. And if something they did today is just try hard until the very end of the game.
Definitely, you can't doubt your side's endeavour, but you talked about the details. Is that just that experience under pressure? Because all games in the Premier League are huge, but this one in particular, maybe did the occasion get to some of your players?
No, I don't think it was the experience of the pressure. I think I have experience enough on the pitch to manage that. I think it was just a key moment that we didn't make it proper, and it went against us as some other games in the last 2 months.
He, of course, their third manager this season. He won 2 of his first 3 in charge, but they've gone 10 without a win. And sometimes, from a player's point of view, that much disruption can cause the run of results Southampton have had.
Yeah, they've had a lot of disruption this season. They're not the only team that have had a lot of disruption, but how it's gone for them is probably not what they expected. And they find themselves in a really difficult position now.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to feel sorry for any team that go down, but that's exactly what they're facing now. I mean, it's an impossible task. Basically need to win all 3 games and hope that results go for you. So, sadly, looks like the Saints are gone.
Indeed. The other side of the story, though, Forest out of that relegation zone, 3 points clear now. Here's Steve Cooper.
Steve, roller coaster, but what's your reaction to a very important win?
Well, definitely that. Very important win. Not really the time to pick the bones out of it, I don't think, because there was so much that went on in the game. I think my overriding sort of feelings is really pleased with some of the quality we've shown in the attacks and in creating the chances and scoring. We didn't cover ourselves in glory with the goals that we conceded, but I like how we stuck together, and it was that night, wasn't it? Wet night game, Monday night. You've seen it so many times over the years and this time of the season as well, and what was on the game, it was always going to be, as you said, a roller coaster. So just really pleased with the win, but the spirit that we showed throughout the game as well, even right at the end there, loads of balls in our box, and we stood tall, and just really pleased for the guys to win what we needed.
Yeah, Bowman, at this stage, when you're down there, is it all about nerve and character and who's got the most of it, really? Yeah,
it was gritty in the end, I think. Those performances certainly keep you up. That determination, that sort of fight that you have to show. You might not be playing your best, but you need to dig in and play for each other and put in the performances, especially at your home ground as well, that we spoke about before.
Is that where togetherness and spirit of a dressing room can really pull you through?
Yeah, I think so. And I think for a team like Forest, they've been put together this season. They've had to sort of create that over the course of the season. It's a big win tonight, and it's one step closer to achieving their goal this season.
Yeah, since August, I think it's 26 players that manager's been delivered. He said himself to us, he's had to learn about them in games, which is not ideal.
Not easy, and a lot of people are saying, well, it's their own fault, but they came up last season having used lots and lots of loan players.
And won the final.
Exactly. So they had to buy players. They didn't have hardly any players left from their promotion team in many ways. So they had to buy a lot of players. Now, you could say that they bought probably too many. And Steve Cooper was the first to admit that it's very, very difficult buying so many players and trying to mould them all into one. And I think he's done a very, very good job. We've seen, as we've given examples of before, Chelsea, the big standout, that have spent so much money, bought so many players.
Fulham last time in the Premier.
So we've seen so many examples of teams doing it and struggling. And don't get me wrong, it's been a struggle for Nottingham Forest this season. But, I think if they can just stay up, then this team might be able to grow quite nicely when all those players are bedded in, because they've certainly got players that can score goals. They've got pace up front, and I think if they can just hang on
Do
this
you fancy
season,
them too now?
I do now.
On this foundation?
I think obviously the points in particular now on the board are vital, especially with the fixtures that we've seen coming up.
Ben, great to have you with us. Thank you very much indeed for your company, Michael. As always, yet another dramatic night at the bottom of the Premier League, and Everton and Nottingham Forest are the big movers. We'll see you soon.